Kevin Stefanski didn't sign off on this. The head coach, along with parts of his staff, reportedly wanted more time, more reps, more patience, more proof. But that timeline collapsed under the weight of Shedeur Sanders' rise and Jimmy Haslam's vision. This internal conflict isn't hidden, it's becoming a defining tension within the organization. Stefanski's hesitation, rooted in caution and long-term thinking, is now directly at odds with ownership's push for visibility, ratings, and immediate results. And in that tug-of-war, Sanders has become the battleground. The Browns' future now hinges on how this power struggle plays out.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Sanders' success, or struggle, won't just shape his career, it will either validate Haslam's intervention or vindicate Stefanski's restraint. The spotlight isn't optional anymore. The Browns have chosen their path, and it runs straight through the rookie's arm and the city's expectations. The Cleveland Browns have just set the NFL on fire with a decision that is shaking up the entire league. In a bold and unexpected move, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam has named Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round rookie, as the team's starting quarterback. This decision, made by ownership rather than the coaching staff, has ignited a firestorm of excitement, controversy, and anticipation. Fans in Cleveland are buzzing, some filled with hope, others with skepticism, as the franchise embarks on a bold new chapter. This isn't just a routine move, it's a calculated shift in how the Browns are positioning themselves for the future. By pushing Sanders into the starting role so quickly, Haslam is signaling a move away from the team's previous approach to quarterback development. Instead of letting Sanders develop slowly and potentially sit behind a veteran for a few seasons, Haslam has decided that the time to act is now. The decision is about far more than just the 2023 season. It's about reshaping the identity of the franchise and possibly turning the page on years of quarterback turmoil. This move is not without controversy, especially within the Browns' own coaching staff. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, according to reports, was not fully on board with this quick pivot. His preference was to take a more measured approach, allowing Sanders to develop behind a veteran quarterback, giving him the time to adjust to the NFL's pace and complexity. But ownership has pushed for an immediate decision. For them, it's not just about the football, it's about the bigger picture. They see Sanders as more than just a quarterback. They see him as a potential star, someone who could generate headlines, sell jerseys, and bring excitement to a franchise that has been largely irrelevant in recent years. This is a high-stakes gamble for Haslam, one that could pay off in a big way if Sanders lives up to the hype. Sanders' performances in training camp and preseason have been impressive, to say the least. His confidence, leadership, and precision have forced the Browns to reconsider their original plans for him. The narrative has already shifted, from being a developmental project to being the focal point of the team's immediate future. While some around the organization may have been hesitant to fast-track Sanders, the momentum behind him is undeniable. For the coaching staff, though, the situation is more complicated. Stefanski and his team had a plan, and that plan didn't involve throwing a rookie into the starting job without first giving him time to acclimate. Coaches understand that the NFL is unforgiving, and a rookie quarterback, no matter how talented, is going to face immense pressure, especially when he's being asked to lead the team right out of the gate. They worry about Sanders being exploited by more seasoned defenses. But ownership has made it clear that they aren't looking for a long-term project. They want results, and they want them now. And so, we find ourselves in this position. Sanders is the starter, and Cleveland is holding its breath. There's excitement, yes, but there's also a looming sense of uncertainty. Because while Sanders may have shown leadership and skill in practice, the real test is yet to come. The NFL season will bring real pressure, real competition, and real stakes. Can Sanders handle it? Can he shoulder the expectations of an entire city that has been starved for a true quarterback for decades? The reaction from the media and fans has been intense. Cleveland hasn't felt this kind of energy in years. Sanders has become a symbol of hope, a figurehead for a team and a city that are desperate to break free from their cycles of failure. It's not just about football, this is personal for Cleveland. The Browns have had their fair share of quarterback disasters, with every new face at the position being heralded as the one, only to be abandoned in disappointment. The arrival of Sanders is the latest attempt to find stability at quarterback, but it's also about the narrative Cleveland is building for itself. The team is betting that a fresh, young face at quarterback will not only bring a new level of play to the field but will breathe new life into the fan base. And that's where the real power of this decision lies. The Browns are betting on Sanders not just for his talent, but for his ability to capture the attention of fans and the media. They want a quarterback who can not only lead the team on the field but can become the face of a franchise. Sanders has the potential to do just that. He's not just another quarterback, he's a potential star with a built-in story. As the son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, Shedeur is already a known entity even before he steps on the field. That kind of star power is exactly what Cleveland needs to break free from its reputation of failure and mediocrity. However, there is a very real danger in this approach. The spotlight is intense. There is no margin for error. Cleveland fans have been burned too many times to ignore the risks. If Sanders falters, the backlash will be swift and unforgiving. Fans will wonder if ownership made a mistake, if they rushed him too quickly, if they should have played it safer. One bad game could lead to questions about whether he's ready for the pressure, and 2 or 3 could ignite a full-blown crisis. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about a single season, it's about changing the future of the franchise. If Sanders succeeds, however, the rewards could be monumental. The Browns could have their quarterback for the next decade, the player who transforms the franchise from the laughingstock of the league to a contender. A successful rookie season could push Sanders into the national spotlight, catapulting him into the conversation as one of the best young quarterbacks in the game. The Browns would be the story of the season, and ownership would look like geniuses for taking the leap when they did. But that's a big if. New match photos, Sanders' early success could also transform how teams evaluate quarterbacks. If a 5th-round pick can step in and succeed right away, it would force the NFL to reconsider how they scout and develop young quarterbacks. The old model of redshirting rookies and letting them develop in a backup role may no longer be the standard. Sanders' rise could challenge that paradigm and change the entire landscape of quarterback development. The pressure is immense, and the path ahead is uncertain. For now, Sanders will carry the weight of an entire franchise on his shoulders. He will have to prove that his confidence, leadership, and poise in practice can translate to success when the games matter. He will have to show that he can handle the pressure, both on the field and off. But if he can, he will become the beacon of hope Cleveland has been waiting for. Whether this is the beginning of a new era for the Browns or just another chapter in their quarterback saga, one thing is for certain, the ride is going to be wild. Let us know what you think. Is Sanders the right choice to lead the Browns, or is this too risky a move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to like and subscribe for more updates on this thrilling story. The Cleveland Browns just set the stage for one of the most dramatic seasons in recent memory, and we're here for every moment of it. The decision to name Shedeur Sanders the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns has set off a seismic shift within the franchise and the NFL at large. It's not just another quarterback change, it's a declaration. A declaration from ownership that things are going to be different in Cleveland. A statement that the Browns are done with the long, slow rebuilds and are ready to go all in on potential. And that potential lies squarely in the hands of a rookie, a 5th-round pick who, just a few months ago, was viewed as a developmental project. Now, he's the face of the franchise. This bold move, made by Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, has already sparked waves of excitement and controversy across the league. Haslam didn't wait for the coaching staff to decide. He didn't wait for the typical gradual process of letting a rookie sit behind a veteran and learn. Instead, he decided that Sanders, after a standout training camp and preseason, was ready to take over immediately. And with that decision, the atmosphere around the team, the media, and the fans has transformed entirely. From the outside, it's easy to see why Haslam made the call. Sanders' performances in camp have been nothing short of remarkable. His leadership, precision, and calm under pressure have impressed everyone, his teammates, the coaches, and the fans. He hasn't just been going through the motions of a rookie, he's been taking charge. That kind of leadership is rare, especially for a fifth-round pick who typically isn't thrust into the starting role so quickly. But Sanders has proven that he's more than capable of handling it. His development has been rapid, and the expectations surrounding him have evolved from, "Let's see how he develops," to, "This is our guy." But what's fascinating, and what makes this decision so dramatic, is that this move has come with a significant amount of resistance from within the coaching staff. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, by all reports, wanted to take a more cautious approach with Sanders. Like many coaches, Stefanski saw value in letting Sanders develop slowly, perhaps behind a veteran, and taking the time to adjust to the speed of the NFL. He didn't want to rush a quarterback into the starting role before he was fully ready. But Haslam's decision to override that cautious approach reflects a shift toward a more star-driven philosophy, one that prioritizes media attention, fan excitement, and immediate results over the traditional methodical process of player development. And, at its core, this is a battle between two opposing philosophies. On one side, you have ownership, which is looking to inject some life into the franchise with a dynamic, young quarterback who has the potential to be a household name. On the other, you have Stefanski and his coaching staff, who are playing the long game, cautious of throwing a young, inexperienced quarterback into the fire without the proper support system and time to grow. And this is where the real tension lies. If Sanders struggles early on, the fallout won't just land on him, it will affect everyone. It will put Stefanski under the microscope, with the media and fans questioning whether he was right to support this move, or whether he was overruled by an ownership group too focused on making headlines. The pressure on Sanders will be astronomical. Cleveland fans have been burned by quarterback after quarterback, and they are understandably skeptical. This isn't the first time they've been promised a new face to lead the franchise. From Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson, the Browns' quarterback carousel has been a never-ending saga of false hope. Fans have seen the cycle play out too many times to get too excited too quickly. Yet, despite their hesitation, there's something different this time. There's something about Sanders, his charisma, his confidence, the way he carries himself, that has fans rallying behind him. It's as if, for the first time in a long time, they can feel the shift. They can feel the potential. And that feeling is contagious. Local businesses are capitalizing on the excitement, and Sanders' face is already plastered across billboards in Cleveland. Social media is buzzing with clips, hype videos, and debates about whether the Browns have finally found their quarterback. People are buying in, and they're buying in fast. The city, as hungry as it's been for success, has embraced Sanders as their own. He's not just a rookie quarterback, he's a symbol of something greater. He's a symbol of hope. Hope for a brighter future for the Browns and the city of Cleveland as a whole. But this kind of support is a double-edged sword. The expectation is now sky-high. Fans are hoping for a turnaround. They're hoping for a season that doesn't end in disappointment. The second Sanders falters, the second the Browns lose a couple of games, the media will pounce. The narrative will shift from, "This is our guy," to, "Maybe we rushed him." That's the burden Sanders now carries. He's not just playing for himself or his team. He's playing for a city that has endured so much heartbreak. The pressure will be relentless. And yet, the Browns' move could be a franchise-altering one. If Sanders succeeds, the Browns will not only have their quarterback for the future, they will have a star. A star who could make Cleveland relevant in the NFL again. A star who could elevate the team from perennial underachiever to playoff contender. He would be the centerpiece of a franchise-wide transformation, and the entire organization would reap the rewards. The Browns would go from the team no one wants to talk about to a team that is the talk of the league. The ripple effect would be enormous. The shift from a defensive-minded, run-heavy approach to one that revolves around a star quarterback would be seismic. But if Sanders falters, if he struggles under the pressure of being the face of a team that's desperate for success, the ramifications could be just as big. If he fails, ownership will bear the brunt of the blame for rushing the decision. And Stefanski, though less to blame for the move, could find himself in a precarious position if the season takes a downward turn. It will be a test of his ability to manage the locker room, adjust his coaching style to fit a rookie, and keep the team focused despite the mounting pressures from the outside. The reality is that one bad season for Sanders could set the Browns back for years. A failed quarterback experiment could take them back to square one, forcing them to start the search for another franchise quarterback. But this is where ownership is playing a high-risk, high-reward game. Haslam knows that a failed season with Sanders is a risk he's willing to take. Because if it works, the rewards are worth it. The Browns could have their future quarterback and the centerpiece of a new era. They could build the team around Sanders, using him as the foundation to attract free agents, generate fan interest, and become a contender once again. In the modern NFL, a dynamic, charismatic quarterback is the fastest route to national relevance. Haslam is banking on that. This gamble has far-reaching implications not just for the Browns, but for the entire NFL. If Sanders can be successful, it will challenge the conventional wisdom around quarterback development. It will prove that a late-round pick, one who wasn't supposed to start for at least a few seasons, can come in and lead a team from day one. The traditional idea that quarterbacks need time to develop behind veterans will be questioned. Teams will start to wonder if they can find their next star in the later rounds of the draft, just like the Browns did with Sanders. The pressure is on Sanders not just to lead his team, but to change the way quarterbacks are evaluated across the league. For now, the wait is over. The Browns have made their move. The city is watching. The fans are hoping. And Sanders is ready, or at least he better be. This isn't just about wins and losses. It's about whether he can handle the biggest stage of all, with the eyes of Cleveland and the NFL focused squarely on him. So, what's next? Is Sanders the guy? Can he live up to the hype and lead the Browns to success? Will the pressure prove too much? Or will this bold move pay off in a way that no one saw coming? As the Cleveland Browns' new season dawns, the spotlight is squarely on Shedeur Sanders, and everything about this decision feels like the beginning of something monumental, whether it's a success or a failure. With Jimmy Haslam's decision to name Sanders the starting quarterback, the Browns have made a bold statement. They're no longer the team sitting on the sidelines of quarterback chaos. They're going all in. They've put their chips on a fifth-round rookie to lead them into a new era, and with that comes a tidal wave of expectations. Make no mistake, this is a move driven by ownership, not the coaching staff. This is where things get messy, because it's clear that head coach Kevin Stefanski didn't want this. He wanted time. He wanted the chance to nurture a raw talent, to develop Sanders behind a veteran. But Haslam saw an opportunity to not only build for the future but to capture the spotlight immediately. The ownership didn't want a quiet, long-term project. They wanted buzz. They wanted excitement. And they wanted it now. That's what makes this so intriguing. This isn't about what Sanders can do in the future. This is about what he can do today. The Browns aren't waiting for him to develop or slowly ease into the NFL. The clock is ticking. Haslam has essentially handed Sanders a ticking time bomb with the weight of the entire franchise strapped to his back. It's sink or swim from day one. And the city of Cleveland is watching every moment of it. Sanders' rise has been fast, and from all reports, he's handled it with an air of confidence and maturity that you don't usually see in a rookie, especially one who wasn't even considered a first-round pick. Every snap, every throw in practice has shown that Sanders doesn't just belong. He commands the moment. His poise, his ability to lead the offense. These are the qualities that have made him not just a promising rookie, but a potential franchise player. And that's exactly why Haslam couldn't wait. But in that same breath, there's the inevitable tension. As much as Sanders has impressed, he's still a rookie. He's still untested in the NFL's pressure cooker. The fans' excitement is palpable, but it's matched by the fear that they're asking too much too soon. And in Cleveland, the pressure of expectations has a way of breaking even the most promising of young quarterbacks. History has not been kind to the Browns in this area, and the fear of failure is always lurking around the corner. A few bad games? The whispers will start. A handful of poor decisions on the field? The cries of "we rushed him" will become louder. That's the fine line the Browns are walking. Still, despite all the pressure, Sanders seems ready for it. And that's where the fan base has bought in. The city of Cleveland is starved for a hero, someone they can believe in, someone they can rally behind. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is filling that role. His rise is something they can cling to in a city that's been beaten down by years of quarterback chaos. They're ready for a new chapter. They're ready for something different. And Sanders? He embodies that hope. That belief that, for once, the Browns have found the guy. However, it's not just about football. This is cultural. The rise of Sanders has given the fans something they haven't had in a long time: belief in their team, belief in the future. This energy has already spilled out of the stadium and into the streets. Billboards have gone up, social media is buzzing, and businesses in Cleveland are all in on Sanders as the face of the team. The level of enthusiasm is palpable, and it's tied not just to the promise of good football, but to the idea that Sanders could be the quarterback that defines the franchise for years to come. This isn't just about wins and losses. This is about restoring pride to a city that's been crying out for it. But that kind of energy also carries a huge burden. The expectations are off the charts. One misstep, one interception in a critical moment, could send everything spiraling. And with every passing week, the stakes get higher. Sanders isn't just carrying the hopes of the team, he's carrying the hopes of a city that's desperate for success. As much as this feels like a new beginning, it's also a high-stakes gamble. The Browns have put everything on Sanders, and now they're holding their breath, hoping it doesn't all come crashing down. If he succeeds, they'll be the talk of the NFL. If he fails, it could set them back years. So the question remains, is Shedeur Sanders the quarterback Cleveland has been waiting for? Or is he another chapter in the never-ending story of quarterback heartbreak? We're about to find out. Because whether this is a story of redemption or disaster, it's bound to be dramatic. It's bound to be unforgettable. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Sanders can handle the pressure? Is this the right call for the Browns? Like if you're ready for the ride, and don't forget to subscribe to follow every twist and turn in this electrifying journey. The Shedeur Sanders era has begun. Whether it's a success or a cautionary tale, we'll all be watching.